Hey guys, what's up? Today we're gonna be playing another horror game. It's another visual novel. We're gonna be doing something a little bit different. We're gonna be getting away from Cinderella phenomenon for a while. I might make it my next video, but from the looks of it, you guys seem to enjoy that series. But I'm like, okay, I'll make more. Um, but yeah, I don't know what this one's about. Like I said before, it's a visual novel, but it's supposed to be spooky, so here we go. And yes, I got the lights on because I'm scared, okay? Don't don't judge me. Oh, it's got a quick save button too. Nice. The sound of our steps combined with that of the occasional nocturnal animal is the only thing we can hear. It's terribly dark in this place. Dense vegetation makes it impossible to see the sky or light from the moon. Our flashlights are the only things that light up our way. Times like this, one begs to not run out of battery. We walk without knowing what we are really looking for, or better said, for no reason. Then why are you in the forest? Just, just look at the creepy forest in the background. Would you guys go into this? I wouldn't. That's got like witch written all over it, and I don't like witches. Just saying. I'm like, no. We are just a group of boys bored with our lives. Okay. Try to create a lasting memory on this night, instead of just staying home and doing nothing. Okay, I guess. Today is October 31st, All Hallows Eve, better known as Halloween. Yes, Halloween you walk through a spooky forest. Well, I guess it's suiting, I guess, for walking into the forest on Halloween. Three young men walk through the dark, but up until now nothing special forest, me being one of them. We're doing it to prove our courage. It's too bad there isn't a girl here to see how brave we are. Okay. Seeing it like that, one could say that this is a meaningless effort. For a moment, I stopped to look at my watch. It's 1:49 a.m. You guys were out that long. That means we have been walking aimlessly for more than 2 hours. Holy. Sure that many people find a place like this terrifying. No, you don't say. But once you get used to it, the fear disappears, making it feel like normal. Not for me, it doesn't. What makes us afraid of the dark is that we cannot know what hides in it, or lurks in the shadows. See, this is exactly the point. You do not know what's in, like, anywhere if you're in the dark, or if something's gonna jump out at you, and I hate that. But this is clearly an empty darkness. The moment I sigh, feeling how tired my legs are. What is the point of being here? Clearly we had already demonstrated what we wanted. It would be best to return. I should tell them. Yep, and then the fog rolls in. Witches. I'm calling it now, you guys. Witches. I was about to speak when suddenly the atmosphere in the forest becomes strange. Suddenly a cold chill runs through my body. Witches. It's like any other chill, except it was not going away. For no reason, the air's temperature dropped from one second to the other. So much so, my breath became visible, turning into mist. It doesn't end there. The air is now filled with a rotten smell, just like a short from being unbearable. I'm just gonna quick save that. And I'll be right back, you guys. Hey, see? I'm back. Yeah, it doesn't end there. The air is now filled with a rotten smell, just like a little short from being unbearable. Images of worms and flies soon appear in my mind, giving me a really unpleasant feeling. We all stop at that moment. Axel? What's happening? I asked, confused while turning to look at my friends. Okay, so we're Axel, I guess. By the expression on their faces, it was easy to know that they were just as lost as I was. No. 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 I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm kidding. I'll still play. It was then that we heard footsteps nearby that did not come from any of us. We all got dead quiet after that. I don't know if it was out of fear or to check if it was not a mistake, but we stayed motionless, like statues, without making a noise. Just looking at each other's faces, wondering the same thing. What was happening? As if I could know. We heard the steps again. They clearly belonged to a human, or at least to a large animal. There was something strange about them. Sounds as if the person walked dragging one foot. Just thinking about it made me shiver. Nope. Guys, this is why I got the lights on. That's why. And he doesn't really do much, but whatever. No. Damn, why is this happening? It makes no sense. I should have returned home before, but now it's too late to regret it. I have the feeling that we are being stalked by someone. The strange footsteps stop, but I'm still feeling the presence nearby. Probably because it's watching you? Maybe? And then when you least expect it, it's gonna, like, jump out at you or something? Sorry, I've watched too many horror movies. I don't know where it is, but I know that it's looking at me. That cursed thing is looking at me. My heart is beating anxiously. It's almost as if my body was telling me to get out of there. Well, you should. Strangely, my friends seem unable to perceive it. Seems that it's gone. Must have been just an animal. Said one of them, convinced that we were safe. I would like to believe that too. We had a sigh of relief, however, bad luck would soon strike us again. Don't do a jump scare, please. Unexpectedly, the forest becomes darker than before in just the blink of an eye. That wasn't the fault of the forest, but of our flashlights, which went out. Yeah. Of the three, only mine, was still working. What's going on? Did the batteries die? No. I don't know what it is, but it's not gonna be nice. Oh, excuse me. Asked one of them scared while they both beat up desperately, as if that was going to revive them. I can't blame them. The idea of walking in the darkness was not pleasant for anyone. But after a few moments, we had no choice but to resign ourselves to that. Once more, the sound of our footsteps is heard. The silence is different now. We are not quiet. Because we have nothing to say, because we are afraid. Continue walking despite the fear that invades us. Visibility is almost zero, but we have no choice. In theory, we are walking back, looking for the exit, but I cannot remember anything of this forest. Then why did you walk in the first place? We could be walking in circles, and I would never notice it until it's too late. I hate the thought of it. I just want to get out of here. Yep, and here comes the jump scare. Something about my thoughts I silence. We hear the footsteps of someone or something. Once more, the three of us become statues, awaiting the presence to go. I hold my breath while feeling my heart beating anxiously. Damn, get away from here and leave us alone. Unexpectedly, the steps are heard closer. This time they do not disappear, but rather come at us. Can't stand it. Desperately, I move my flashlight everywhere, looking for the author of those footsteps. Hoping for the light to reveal their identity and erase our fears. Nothing. 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 Is that all there is around here? Just empty air? Anxiety grows with each failed attempt. I refuse to believe that it was just a ghost. No, probably not. Suddenly, when I move the flashlight again, I see a silhouette. Yep. Here we go. I cannot distinguish what it was, but for a moment the light revealed something. Quickly, I point to the same place, only to discover it was gone. Hold my breath anxiously. It was not an illusion. I'm sure that I saw something. It was then that I heard something nearby. Without even thinking, I aimed the light towards that place. Yeah, here we go. What I found leaves this paralyzing expression of disbelief on our faces. Oh my god, it's just a cat. Oh my god. Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better. It is a white cat with eyes of intense red, which stands before us. Her look is not the friendliest, to say something. Somehow I get the feeling it's a female cat. Yeah, suddenly she lets out a thunderous meow that leaves us terrified. Sounds more like a lion roaring than a simple cat. I don't think... I think that's gonna turn into something. Like, you know... I know we go back to the witches thing, or whatever, but I have a feeling that that's not actually a cat. I'm calling it now, that's not actually a cat. The echo of her meow is heard throughout the forest, making it sound more sinister than it should be. It was then that suddenly an inexplicable force hits us three. Ooh. Okay. I fall to the ground and little by little my eyelids close. The fatigue becomes unbearable. Okay. I lose consciousness on the ground of the forest without knowing what was going to happen to me. Interlude. Before night falls. Okay. Oh, you got a nice room you got here. You even got books, but your shelves are mostly empty, kinda. Got a computer, too? I bet you that's an Apple computer. It is a day like any other, so normal that it was almost painful. I like the skeleton carpet. I want to get one. That looks cool. The only special thing that could be said about it is that it's October 31st. Far were the memories when I was a little kid and went out with my friends to ask for sweets from house to house. Okay, so this is... I'm assuming this is just, before what happened in the forest. Obviously, I think. Just remembering it made me sigh. I feel nostalgic. Some things were better when I was a child, or at least seemed like that. Yeah, I can agree with that. There's some who had good costumes, whether of superheroes or monsters. My friends and I, on the other hand, had to use our imagination. Creativity was our costume, you could say, no matter how funny it could sound. Remember that my mother once painted red my face, told me you would be the devil. But it seems only she saw it that way. When we went from home to home, everyone said I was the tomato man. But those things didn't matter to me, since we always had a good time. But as for candy now, even if I had the best costume, I'm sure no one would give me anything. Yeah, probably. I remember... What did you guys dress up as Halloween? Like, put in the comments, yeah, what you guys... And what was your favorite candy? Mine would have to be Rockets, and what are those other ones? What are they called? I don't remember. I think they're called Lifesavers, I think they were called. Those were good. There was one year, I thought it was kind of funny that, we got a bag of or it wasn't candy, but it was full of, like, a toothbrush, toothpaste, and floss, and then me and my brother were not impressed by that. We weren't the only ones who got that either, which is kind of funny, but whatever. But yeah, we didn't have very good costumes either, but I don't know. Except perhaps a scolding for acting like a child when I'm 17 years old. But anyway, I can't stay in the past. I must live in the present, no matter how little exciting that might be. Back to reality, we're a group of friends who don't have any plans for today. We're still not old enough to go to a disco. I doubt guys as us would have any luck in that environment. The other option would be to go to a party, meet girls, and have some fun. Everything perfect except that nobody has invited us. Not being popular has its disadvantages. Relatable. Thank you. Hey Axel, let's have a couple matches. What do you say? My friend Steven called my attention while playing with the game console. Rush Red, I believe that's what the game's called. A fast and quite complicated fighting game for me. I normally agree to play with him, but for some reason I don't feel in the mood today. I have no desire to play now. I replied with discouragement. I almost feel bad for doing it. Boring. The AI has no rival for me, Steven said with confidence. You're playing on normal difficulty does not help your argument. I don't feel like losing, but if you want, you can challenge to Alfred, I said, leading the attention of my other friend. I don't know how to play that, answered Alfred, doubting for a second. He's sitting behind the PC, but it seems that he isn't doing anything interesting. The screen only shows a lot of text. I think he is in Wikipedia. Hey, don't you have something more fun to do? I asked with discouragement, without even thinking about what he was reading. Alfred looks at me surprised. The actual problem of society is that people are not interested in discovering their history. Oh, he's one of those people. Okay. He is one of those, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm just gonna say intellectuals, always looking for any rare information to appear smarter than others. When we forget our past mistakes, we are doomed to repeat them. Sorry, my brain just kind of went, Yeah. He added later. What are you talking about? This village is small, and this story is not interesting at all. Nothing outside of the normal has ever happened in it. Alfred laughs mockingly after hearing that. Your ignorance is worthy of praise. He pauses, filling his chest with pride. The very fact it is a small town is the reason it's full of mysteries. Did you know that 20 years ago, on this date, a man disappeared? So, what about it? I asked without being impressed or even interested in the least. Things like that happen all the time in all places. As I thought, you don't know the history despite living in this very place. Alfred said while adjusting his glasses in an arrogant gesture. There's a legend behind the disappearance. This is what I was reading. After listening to him, I looked back at the computer screen with curiosity. It's then that I noticed it was not Wikipedia, but some other page. Come on, read this and learn a little, Alfred said, inviting us to read what was on the screen. Both Stephen and I moved closer to read it. And by the way, there is music with this, but I don't want to get copyrighted. But it's actually it's okay. I mean, it's good music, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, it should be fine. I came to this town with only 4,000 inhabitants to support them in an investigation. Truth is that never in my life have I seen something this strange. I will say your typical detective-ish nonsense that I've seen thousands of strange things in my life. Seen many crimes, yes. Some difficult to solve. But all of them were human. Ooh. Even if you don't know how they managed to perpetrate the crime, you know that there are people like everyone else. Anyone else. In this case, I don't think I'm able to say the same thing. Truth is that I can't understand what happened. I was called for the disappearance of a, I'll just say a victim. Matthew Grime. 23 years. Single. He was last seen returning home from a party. He drank alcohol, but was still sober. Or at least that's what witnesses said. Anyway, this is not something which can be explained with a simple drunkenness. He apparently got lost on the way home and decided to enter the forest called Oakwood. It had rained yesterday, so the ground was wet and muddy. You could easily find his traces, which lead him deep inside the forest. Apparently, he was 2 hours in before stopping, or whatever that says. I'm not gonna even bother because I'm too lazy for that. Stopping. I say stop because we don't know what happened then. The tracks suddenly ended up in a clearing in the forest. And that's all. There was no evidence of struggle, no other trace, or pieces of clothing on the ground. There was no blood, no more footprints, or anything else. The depth of his last footprints were indicated that he was still alive. No point he stood still, as if he had leapt in the air, with all his clothes, in the middle of his walk. Obviously, I can't believe such a thing, but I can't give another explanation. The only thing I remember is that near the footprints, I sensed a faint smell of rot. Oh. That's probably what happened to us, guys. We disappeared. I mean, all three of them disappeared. However, there were no animal corpses nearby. It is ridiculous to think he suddenly started to decay and become earth. I never thought of that, but... In the end, the case was closed in just 3 minutes, hours, I don't know. Sorry about that, guys. That was just my tablet going off if you heard that. Then he decided to escape from this, however, well, officially there was no more to do. I couldn't sleep in peace. Thinking about what could have happened to him took away my sleep. In my mind, I thought all sorts of theories. Like maybe everything was a plan developed by Matthew. But in the end, they all seemed impossible. I decided to investigate more on this, town for similar stories, and apparently there's 4 more. All young men. Or is it always the same? I walked into the forest alone, disappearing without trace. Even more curious is that all of them disappeared on the same date, October 31st. There's more. A detail that completely eliminates the possibility that there's a killer or kidnapper behind this. And that is the separation of the years. Roger Bacon disappeared in 1924, Mitchell Smith, sorry, disappeared in 1867. Jason Black disappeared in 1813. And then the worst of all, Oswald Taylor disappeared in 1707. Simply couldn't be possible. That's weird, though. Simply couldn't be possible. My curiosity led me to dig deeper. I think the answer may be in the past of the, yeah. When I discovered that what seemed simpler and become boring forest actually had a great story. Where it was called Oakwood, or Oaks Forest. The place is called... What did I say, guys? Witchwood. The word witch has huge similarity with witch. No. Taking into consideration that this is an old name and language changes over time, that indicates that it was the Forest of Witches. See? What did I say at the beginning of this? I said witches are going to be involved. And look. Witches. Apparently more than 400 years ago, the village believed witches lived in the forest. Unfortunately, almost all the information was lost. There were stories told in voice, without a properly written record. I just know that with the change of religion to Christian, people stopped seeing the witches with good eyes and began to hunt them. Apparently the last one, before her death, cast a curse on the forest. She today should have continued to exist. Anyway, I cannot accept that as an answer. And yet I have no choice then to accepting that each one of them is in the legend of the forest to make it look like it was something supernatural. That is interesting, isn't it? Just gonna save. I'm gonna make this episode longer because it's the first one. Yeah, interesting story. I didn't know that such a story was hiding in this town. I said honestly surprised, even if it is a lie. I managed to hold my interest. Wait, there's something more. Alfred said at the same time he scrolls to the comments. We read what it was written there. A couple of comments call our attention. Both of them talk about some creature. At the time, they felt a horrible fear for what could happen to them. While the two comments share great similarities, they could have been written by the same person. There are many others that deny it. Looks like many people went to the forest because of the legend, but couldn't find anything. I thought that you only read these things to look more cool before the girls, replied Stephen as a joke. Alfred giggles with a little shame. Partly, yes. He admitted it, that was a secret everybody silently knew. Well, well, now we have an activity for tonight, Stephen said at the same time he makes a face overflowing with enthusiasm. What? I was completely lost. I thought we were just killing time. Simple, let's go to that forest. Stephen replied without hesitation. He seemed really fascinated by the story. Are you insane? Said Alfred, unable to believe what he had just heard. You only needed to look at his face to know he did not like the idea. Despite everything you've heard, you want to go. Of course, it would be a test of courage among us three, replied Stephen full of confidence. Perhaps too much. You should relax a bit. Don't tell me you're afraid. No, why would I be afraid? Sorry, it was why should I be afraid? Whatever. Answered Alfred at the same time he folds his arm, making a false gesture of security. It's more than obvious that you are afraid, Alfred. Almost as much as when you have to talk with a girl. Ooh. What about you, Axel? Don't tell me you won't come. Suddenly Stephen asked me, at the same time looking at me mockingly. Don't tell me you want to be the chicken of the group. Hey, we're not the chicken. That other guy, Alfred, I think his name was Chicken. I hate that tone of voice you used. I'll never give you that, I said without thinking, showing a confident smile and look. Well, let's not say any more. Take your coats, backpacks, flashlights, and some food. We're going to the forest, Stephen said full of energy. Yeah! We three said in unison as if we were going to have some kind of private party. Not really knowing what we were doing or what we were going to find. Yeah, well look what happened. Disappeared. 2:13 a.m. I wake completely confused, not knowing how much time has passed. Let me guess, our friends are missing, and then they're gonna skedaddle, go somewhere else. My head hurts like hell, but I can't blame it. Fortunately, the pain goes away quickly, just as my confusion. Soon I come back to my senses. My flashlight is lying on the ground, shining towards the empty air. Mainly pick it up. It was my only protection against the darkness that surrounds me. And I remember that Stephen and Alfred were with me. Stephen? Alfred, can you hear me? Without thinking, I screamed their names in the dark while trying to find them. Their flashlight, but there's no trace of them. They're gone. Where the hell are they? What the heck just happened? I really don't understand anything. Not gonna say that. I should have stayed at home. This is not a proof of courage. We could be in danger. I have to find them. 2:19 a.m. So what, did everybody else get, like, picked up and fly away, or they walked away and then we're the only survivor, I guess? Little time has passed as I started to look for my friends, and I already can't stand this place. I'm going crazy in this forest. The darkness that covers it is unnatural. It is a darkness that steals your own sanity, replacing it with anxiety. To make it even worse, the air is damp and cold as in winter, carrying a strong rot smell, as if there are corpses of animals hidden throughout the forest. The atmosphere in this place is oppressive. With every step you take, it makes you more uncomfortable. As I started to look for my friends, I felt that something is watching me, but there was nothing. You said that last time, and look what happened. And then there was something watching you, and waiting, and then it was gonna come at you. I sighed with my voice full of frustration. I just want to get out of here. Continue walking, devoid of any hope. No matter where I look, or how much I walk, I find nothing. I cannot even hear the sounds of animals. Rather, it seems that they are already dead and rotting. I have to calm myself, I said to myself. I stopped for a moment to rest. I breathed deeply, but the rotten air of this place does me no good. Mainly I start to cough as if I had something stuck in the throat. What am I gonna do? He's like, he's angry. Cursed forest seems endless. And even if by miracle I could escape, I cannot abandon Stephen and Alfred. I'm really screwed up. Again I sigh, feeling on the verge of tears. My frustration is building up, but I have to do my best to keep calm. If I fall into despair, then there is no doubt I will be joining the list of missing persons. No, I think your friends joined that group, let's be honest. In the end, I decided to keep walking. Step by step, I should get somewhere. At least I was convinced that staying in the same place would not do me any good. Even if it was only to see myself feeling that I'm doing something, I wanted to continue walking. Time passes without any changes. Only the sound of my footsteps could be heard. Knowing that as soon as you stop, you will be surrounded by a dead silence is a good incentive to keep walking. Yeah, I mean, it does have a point. My legs were already hurting. Suddenly I hear a crack at my feet. Instantly I take a step back and look below to see what made that sound. What is this? I whispered to myself, surprised, discovering that I had stepped on an animal bone. He's so cute when he's sleeping. Good boy. Is it an animal bone, though? I believe that it's from an animal, although I do not rule out the possibility that it belongs to a person. Oh, and I forgot to ask, do you guys like my new headphones? Yeah, it's better that it's actually got a mic in it, I guess. But for my own good, I prefer not to think about that. An expression of anguish is drawn on my face. It is best to ignore it. I have to keep walking. Suddenly, my flashlight reveals something. Without hesitation, I point towards there again. Oh, it's the cat. I'll let you realize with the surprise that that is the white cat. The one from before which made that awful meow, but this time I find it laying on the ground. It appears to be fainted and is wounded. And what should I do? Ooh. It's a good question, guys. I'm gonna pick the cat up. It is best to continue without waking her. The cat is dangerous. It's her fault that I ended up in this place and my friends are missing. But even knowing that, for some strange reason, I can't help but feel sorry for her. Even if it is unnatural, it is still an animal. I then bent down to see her closer. She's unconscious, and there is a thin line of blood that coming from her mouth. A real idiot, I said to myself at the same time I cleaned the blood from her mouth with a handkerchief that I had with me. Fortunately, she doesn't wake up. Sorry, wakes up. Okay, I'm gonna, yeah, it should be okay. I got, Yeah, just give me a second, guys, then I'm just gonna figure this out. I'll be right back. I then closed her mouth, making her appearance a little better. Now she seemed to be peacefully sleeping. Because I think I just went back and quick saved it because I quick saved before we did that. Just in case that was the wrong decision to make. But I think if you just leave the cat there, something terrible's gonna happen. You'll probably instantly get a bad ending or something. So I saved before that, yeah. After a long sigh, I decided to pick her up carefully. I don't know what the powers of this cat are, but if she brought me here, maybe she could return me to my world. Turn my arms, I decide that the best thing I can do is to continue walking. 31 a.m. Okay. Again, I find myself in the dark forest walking aimlessly. Only moving forward, but it didn't seem I was getting somewhere. And by the way, I don't know how long this game is either. It was just in my Steam library, and I was just like, okay, we could play this, I guess. I'm pretty sure it's free, but I'm not positive on that. I don't remember even where I got it, but yeah. I moved forward, but it didn't seem I was getting anywhere. My arms that carry the cat, which sleeps soundly. Come here, you'll be safe. Suddenly stop. Probably easy to see the disbelief on my face at that moment. It's the voice again. I whispered to myself with no one to listen to me. Shortly after I found the cat, a mysterious voice appeared in my mind. It is a feminine voice, soft and gentle, as if it belonged to a princess from a fairy tale, but I can't trust it. Yeah, I'm just gonna... I saved the other one here, in number 4, just so I remember. Okay, now I'll go back. Yeah, I wouldn't trust it either. Am I really going crazy, or is it the forest that doesn't make any sense? I don't know, but I don't like any of the two options. I then feel the cat move my arms. I look down at her confused just to see how she opens the red eyes suddenly. We make a terrible choice. I become quiet at that instant. For a moment, the two stayed motionless, staring into the eyes of the other. The red eyes of the cat are disturbing to me, but also there is something fascinating about them. Something that attracts me. I lose myself in her eyes as if hypnotized. Till suddenly she jumps with the intention of scratching my face. My reflex is pushing her at the same time I jump back, turning my head to dodge her claws. I managed to dodge her attack, but in the process I drop my flashlight. I panicked and acted clumsily. The flashlight heap falls near me, lighting up a tree in the vicinity. As soon as I left my hand, I remember how dense this abnormal darkness is. I could pick it up, not even thinking, before taking action. So was it a good choice or a bad choice? I don't know. I then left the place where the cat was. I discovered that she had arched her body angrily as if she feared an attack from me. Its red eyes stare at me, shining with the light of the flashlight as if they were jewels reflecting their fearsome hatred and rejection towards me. Body freezes after seeing them, and I can't even think. Cat then lets out a thunderous meow similar to the one before, but weaker, although not any less frightening. There's no doubt, there is something wrong with that animal. Must be cursed. Everything is her fault. She must be some kind of evil spirit, a pet of the witches. I feel a panic seizes me. My heart beats quickly, begging me to do something. My mouth is dry and my forehead covered with cold sweat. What should I do? That's a good question. I wonder, can I quick save? No, I don't think that works. This could fit the cat. Okay. I saved before this, so we're good. But I'm going to... I wonder if I should save this too. Just quick save. I'll put that number 5. And then now we'll go back. And then afterward I'll go back if it's a terrible ending, and we'll go do that. No, I should not disappear. I have to calm down and think carefully about what I should do. That in mind, I take a deep breath and look again at her. Soon the expression of my eyes changes from fear to courage. I realize it is only a cat, without a doubt a strange one. My life is not actually in danger. It isn't a tiger staring at me, but a simple cat. Apparently her only power are those weird meows. If she could kill me, she would have already done it. So I rule out that possibility. Her work must be transporting the next victim to this area of the forest, so unnatural and shady. Filling my lungs with air, I slowly walk towards the cat. Meows get louder with every step, but I don't let them scare me. Seeing that I do not turn back, she shyly takes a step back. In my mind, I smiled at that image. The prey is now the hunter. I look at her directly while advancing. Little by little, her meows become weak as if she was losing strength. Then I suddenly jumped to take her in my hands. She has hardly resisted at all. I'm so tough now, right? You look better like this. She's trembling in my hands. She looks so helpless that I almost feel like a villain. I must not forget all that she has done so far. It's her fault that I am in this place. She brought me here. If I kill her, would it be possible to go back? For a moment that a grim idea crossed my mind. Never killed an animal. Truth is that I can't be proud of myself in doing such a thing. But if I do, maybe this legend can end here and now. Okay, so maybe we did make a right choice. Possibly. Maybe. I don't know. What have I to do? Maybe this logic can end here and now. Then what should I do? I think killing her wouldn't do anything. Let's just keep her captured. Okay, and I'm also gonna go back. I'll put this on number 2 on this side. The bad things are on... I'm not gonna say the bad, but the every time we make a decision, it will go on that side. Is what I was gonna say. Sorry that took so long. I shouldn't have. It's only logical that Magic should die along with the cat. That should be my ticket back. If kill her, everything would be over tonight. The legend would come to an end. Confident that it was for the best, I try to view it in my mind. But no matter how hard I force myself to see it, in the end I'm unable to take the life of another living being. Because I think if you do, I think if you do, take its life, I guess, I think you're gonna have a bad time. I think I'm too nice for my own good. So the only thing that remains is to keep her with me. Hoping that sooner or later she allows me to escape. Nothing more to think about, I decide the best thing to do is to continue my path. Here we are, walking again. 2:41 a.m. Surprised we haven't found our friends yet. Been a few minutes since I captured the cat. Again, I find myself walking with her in my arms, led by that strange voice. How long have I been walking in this forest? Apparently not enough to make me go mad, but it should be close. Don't be afraid. Come with me, I will help you. The voice sounds closer this time. It seems that I am going in the right direction. I don't fully trust in it, but it's the best I have. At least at first glance it seems a friendly voice. I'm completely focused on my way when I suddenly feel something bite me. What the heck? I shouldn't be realizing that the cat bit my arm. Fortunately, it wasn't a dangerous bite, but it sure was painful. Once direction, she takes the chance to jump from my arms, falling a few steps away from me. I set my gaze upon her furious, but soon something happens that makes me forget about my... Just watch! I'm calling it now! I called it from the beginning if this turns into a person! Suddenly the cat is covered with a bright light. So much that it repels the natural darkness surrounding the forest, stealing my breath. Under the light, its figure gradually changes until it ceases to be a cat and becomes a human figure. What did I just say? What did I say, guys? I said it was gonna turn into a human, and I knew that, or something else. I knew that wasn't really a cat. What is it gonna turn into? No longer is there a cat, but a girl with incredible beauty. Okay, we're gonna... So, meaning I was right to, hold on, I'm just gonna save this. We'll go back to number 1 then. No. Oh, yeah. There we go. And then I'm also... Yeah, I saved that. No longer is there a cat in front of me, but a girl with incredible beauty. It's really going crazy. Okay, and I think, guys, we are gonna end this episode here. If you guys want more of this game, leave a like below, which I probably am gonna finish it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Or, bye.